I'm going to show you a few products that I found sourcing with 4 years of experience selling on Amazon. And I found these products using SellerAmp. How's it going, everyone? My name's Alex. I've been selling on Amazon for over 4 years now. And I'm going to break down two different products that I found sourcing with different methods through SellerAmp. I'm going to break down each product, what I saw in it, and why I decided to purchase that for my inventory. Let's jump into it. All right, so the first product I found here was an OXO fork and spoon set. I was actually looking at someone else's storefront and I came across this product, looked at it, found the direct match on the website, and here is the Amazon listing. So right off the bat, you can see this is a variation listing. There are 6 variations. It's a 5K rank. It sells almost 650 times a month. And as of right now, looking at $20.88 for the sale price, we're getting this for $8.99. We're going to make $4.50 profit and a 50% ROI. I'm going to open up SellerAmp now to show you some more data that I use to help make my decision. All right, so let's just go down the line, look at all the data points, and see how I use that to influence my decision. So first, we're looking at the chart here. We can see that rank is pretty consistently between 5,000 and 7,000 rank, which is great. We like to see a consistent rank unless it's a seasonal time of year where we see a rank drop. We don't really want to see the rank go from, say, 5,000 to 50,000 over a 3-month span. Probably means something happened to the listing, or it's just a product that has lost its volume, or it's just a product that has lost its volume. So we see this chart is actually pretty consistent. We see some FBM sellers have come and undercut the FBA sale, by a few cents, not a ton here. There's not a buy box over the last 3 months, but that doesn't matter. We can still sell products without a buy box. If we scroll down a little bit further, we see the offer count here kind of fluctuates between 3 and 2 sellers basically over the last 3 months. If we go back even further, we do see up to 4 sellers on this listing. So could be a little bit of a problem, but let's take a look at some of the other data to see if this even matters. If we check the variations tab, we can see that tot teal, the one we're looking at, has the second most reviews out of all the variations on the listing. That's a great sign for us, kind of like a gut check. I don't use this number to really make or break my decision on a listing, but it is good to see that our product is one of the best-selling variations. Lastly, we're going to look at the offers tab, look at some of the data on the other sellers to see if that's going to influence our decision at all. We can see that there are 3 sellers on this listing currently. We could become a 4th. What I don't want to see is just the brand and Amazon dominating the listing, or just a bunch of wholesale sellers. So if we hover over the FBM or FBA title here, it's going to show us the seller and their ratings. So we can see this is triple net pricing here, 84,000 reviews. So that looks like some sort of wholesaler. But if we look at the other FBA seller on the listing, but 44 reviews, that kind of tells me that this could be an online arbitrage seller, which is awesome. That's because that's the type of products we want to look for. The other FBM seller is another one that could be a wholesaler. So since we're searching for online arbitrage products, we do like to see some online arbitrage sellers on these types of listings. So if we really wanted to, we could open up their storefront in SellerAmp just to see what other types of products they have. Are they other online arbitrage products, or are they potentially wholesale products? So let's do that just to get a little bit more confirmation on this listing. So right off the bat, I'm seeing some of the top brands that they're selling: Adidas, Neutrogena, Under Armour. These are online arbitrage brands through and through. It's really tough to get Adidas as a wholesale account or some of these other clothing brands. So to me, this is an online arbitrage seller that is on this listing and they are selling this profitably. So I am not too worried that I'm going to get kicked off the listing or anything like that. So all the data checks out on this type of product here. We're going to make $4.50 profit on each item, and we're going to make a 50% ROI. So now the question is, how many of these should we buy? And how long do you think it's going to take to actually sell all of that stock? So we can see the entire listing sells 650 times a month. This is the estimate across all the variations. So this specific variation, we're just going to have to make an estimated guess. So we can see there's not a ton of stock on the listing, which is good for us. And then we know that this is the second fastest selling variation. So if we take this 33% and we multiply by the number of sales per month, that could give us somewhat of an estimate as to how many this specific variation sells per month. So if we multiply that 650 by 33%, that's going to be around 215 sales a month on this listing. Now, there's not enough stock for that to make all the sense in the world to maintain 650 sales a month or to maintain this 5K rank. So what we can probably do on this type of product is test buy it. If we buy 5 or 10 units and see how quickly those sell, that can help us make a better decision, seeing that this product wasn't super easy to find. This product doesn't have a ton of fluctuation in the sellers over time. So what I can do is afford to do a test buy on this, wait until the product sells, and then do a second buy after I understand how quickly this listing actually sells. If you're finding listings like that, it's definitely worth doing a test buy if you know that the test buy wasn't a one-time thing, or the price was a one-time thing that you could achieve. If you know you can purchase that product again profitably if the price stays, it's definitely worth doing a test buy so you don't make a huge mistake on a product that doesn't sell. So we are on to our next product, and I was actually manually sourcing the DSW website because they're running a sale right now where if you spend $200, they'll give you $60 off of your order. So that's a 30% discount. So that's pretty huge for a lot of these products. So I actually found this listing based on using that 30% off if we're just spending over that $200 limit. When you have a percentage discount, you can kind of spend as much as you want. When you have a dollar off discount, you have to limit how many items you're going to buy to try to maximize that discount. So again, I used my SellerAmp extension to find the direct match here on Amazon. I pulled it up to save some time, but we're looking at 122K rank, sells 1,000 times a month. So we'll look at the chart on this listing because it's a little wonky, but we are super profitable. After applying that discount, we're actually only going to be able to purchase 6 of these at a time to maximize our discount. When we purchase 6, that $34.99 turns into like $210. We're subtracting 60 from that total and then dividing by 6 to get this $24.99 purchase price per sandal. So that's going to make us $14 profit, 60% ROI. Now, if we can sell this, 10 or 20 times a month, that's going to turn into a nice $100 to $200 profit for one specific item. If we can do this over and over again, we start to build up big profit numbers and build a really sustainable business out of this. All right, so we opened up all the data in SellerAmp here, and we're going to go through each specific data point to help us make our decision once again. So we can see on the left here, I broke down all the profit and ROI numbers here. We're looking at the chart now. We can see this price is very consistent. There's a couple sellers here and there on and off the listing. Amazon is not on this listing very often. Sometimes maybe they find some stock in a warehouse, they'll list it and it sells. But for the most part, this product has been selling for $54 to $55 over the last 3 months very consistently. So if we look at the sales rank here, we see that that rank was basically sitting around 1,000 for the last 3 months. A while ago, it did spike up into the 100,000 mark, and it's back into the 100,000 mark, 100 to 200,000 mark. So this product still sells pretty well. I don't know if it's a glitch in the system because we see that the variations are all selling really well. We see that the variations all have ratings. But for some reason, the sales rank is maybe glitched out and showing, not actually what it's at. So I'm going to take this average here that we've been sitting around 1,000 on this type of sandal. So that way, this number is actually pretty accurate, right? We don't want to assume, 100K rank, 150K rank, that only sells, 50 times a month, right? I'd like to think that this 950 sales per month is actually pretty accurate. If we look at the offer count, we do see plenty of movement here up and down, whether it's the same seller, restocking and then going out of stock. But we do see a little bit of movement here. We don't see any crazy spikes upward, which means this product isn't being found by a ton of sellers. Again, this one doesn't have the buy box very often, but if we do look at who has gotten the buy box recently, it's just been suppressed for 97% of the time. When Amazon jumped on the listing those couple of times, they got the buy box at a much lower price. And then it's been out of stock a little bit. So like I mentioned on the last product, the variations tab is not a make or break data point for me because a lot of times it doesn't paint a full picture as to how often this product sells. So in practice, neutral colors and common sizes are going to sell well no matter how well they rank based on the number of reviews it has. So any of the colors in black, white, gray, or navy are going to sell the fastest out of any of the other colors. And then sizes 8 through 12 are going to sell really well for men's. 7 through 11 are going to sell also well for women's. So if we scroll down a little ways, we do see some reviews on this, black size 12. But if you only went off of this data, you would probably not purchase this product because it's so far down the list. But we know that this could probably sell because it is a black color and it is size 12. And now looking at the offer count, we see 3 sellers on the listing, all look like online arbitrage sellers, but they all have that price around the $54, $55. So this specific variation isn't super saturated. So there's not a lot of stock on this listing. So if I were to jump on this listing, the price is most likely not going to tank because I'm not adding a ton of stock to this listing where the price is going to fluctuate a ton. We also don't see a ton of seller count increases in the past. So me jumping on this listing, I don't have too much worry that the price is going to tank because a bunch of sellers are going to find the specific product. Overall, both of these products are really solid finds. And when you break down all of the different data points that SellerAmp offers, it's pretty easy to make a decision on a product, whether it's a good purchase or a bad purchase for your Amazon business. Hopefully you guys got some value of my product breakdowns. If you did, subscribe to the SellerAmp channel and we'll see you in the next one.